All right, so we're inside the booth and it's time to put the finishing touches on the car. When we tried to load the car up, I had a reduced turning radius because I mounted one of the front lip extensions too close to the wheel well, and the wheel was gonna hit it. So I tried to gracefully remove it once we got it off of transport yesterday, and I turned it into a 3-piece lip extension. Those rivets held on really tight. So I busted it into 3 pieces, but we're gonna put it back together today. And we've got a lot of finishing touches to do on the car before it is ready for the show. The only downside is I seem to have hurt my shoulder. I tweaked it yesterday and then I slept on it wrong, and it's barely workable. So I'm gonna be, if the camera's a little shaky or whatnot, I'm very sorry. I basically can't use my right arm for anything load bearing, and that'll make this really fun. I think I'm gonna start in the front and work my way back. I'm gonna use black paint to access the distressed parts, the cracked parts, stuff like that. I got some sandpaper, might try and expose a little bit more carbon, kind of rough this up, rough that line up a little bit more. That's gonna be one of my starting points. All right, I got the kind of accentuations done. This is like what it looked like before, and here it is after. It's not a lot, just a little bit of black paint in the cracks there, a little bit of paint around the rivets there, a little bit of accentuating of the crack there. Really nothing too crazy. I did a little bit of work on this side too. Some of this paint is still drying. A lot of it is get it on there, and then you got to kind of programmatically like wipe it off out of the high spots and stuff like that. That crack came out really good. I'm stoked with how that one's looking. Now I got some ideas for some kind of wear marks in the bumper, just like where it would look like the paint would wear down. So I'm going to go ahead and I bought a drywall mixing board. Actually, this is a hand sander. I didn't know what this was. Anyways, it's got a perfectly flat piece of foam. I'm gonna be able to put paint on it, and then as I dab it under the bodywork, it'll just get these lines right here. So I can work a little bit of black accenting around the lines of the body where they would wear out from like this. It's actually where we wore through when we were sanding it. So I took pictures of that, and I'm gonna basically put it back in there with black paint.
What's up, guys? So lately I've been jumping into something that blends my love for cool vehicles and gaming. It's called Truckstar, and it's all about designing, modifying, and competing with your own custom vehicles right on your phone. And that's why today's episode is sponsored by Truckstar. Truckstar is a unique match 3 game, but unlike most out there, it's got a unique twist. You're not just playing puzzles. Every match 3 game helps you earn wrenches, and you can use those towards building and customizing and modifying vehicles. So let's jump into it. This is my account right here. I got myself to level 400. That's how fun it is. This is not boosted. And let's start modding a vehicle. I've got this truck right here in the game. You follow missions, complete puzzles, and earn what you need to build and modify your dream ride. And what's cool is each puzzle is not just for points. It's for progress. You complete tasks, you collect tools, and then you get to apply them directly to your vehicle. Whether that's adding new paint, or new bodywork, or custom exhaust, or new wheels, Truckstar lets you design every detail. There is a ton of customization available. Another awesome feature is the sheer variety of different vehicles that you can collect. And starting November 22nd to December 2nd, you can participate in a limited time event called Speed Heart and collect really cool vehicles like Thunder Chaser. Anybody who reaches level 35, which trust me is really easy, only takes a few minutes, can participate in this event. You're gonna find some super wild rides that you can unlock just by participating in these types of events and playing the game. And it doesn't stop there. You can take your customized vehicles online and compete with other players from around the world. If you think your design has what it takes, it's time to prove it. And trust me, if you love modifying vehicles or playing match 3 games, or you just want a fun way to pass some time, Truckstar is your game. And the best part is it's free to download, there are no ads, and you don't even need Wi-Fi to play it. I was playing it on my last plane ride. And if you use my special gift code that's on the screen right here, players can get a booster for a little faster start. It's a really fun game, it's quite addicting, and it's a good time. So click my link in the description below and download Truckstar today, and let's see who's got the best rides. Join me in customizing today. Huge thanks to Truckstar for sponsoring this episode.
All right, I got that how I like it. It is very, very subtle, and with the lighting here, you're really not even gonna see it. You can see a little bit of black right there, but super subtle. Didn't want to do too much on that, but that is how I like it. I want to let it dry up. And the cool thing about these paints that we're using, if they dry up and you really don't like it, I can just take it off. But I think I want to keep it. I think in daylight, not such harsh lighting, it's gonna look really good. I don't know, this line's a little fat for my liking. This is more like what I was going for. So I'll grab a sponge, I'm gonna wipe that one off. But after I do that, I'm gonna move over to the door now. So all of these indented pieces need to be accented. We did a test on the roof, and this is kind of what it's supposed to look like. So something like this, just pretty subtle, and it just kind of accents the chips of the paint. So we're gonna go ahead and go through and do that. And I got some beauty trim to go through here to cover up these little red spots. And then obviously we gotta clean the crap out of this door sill. Get the NA writing off. That's the auction writing that's still on the window, so we'll get that off. We'll get this whole thing black accented. All right, I got the A-pillar done, just a light accent because I didn't want this whole thing to be black basically, so lightly accented the damage through there. Got some real good streaks coming in on here from the denting and stuff like that. These ones are not polished out yet, so don't mind those. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do these bullet holes. So we took the original bullet holes that had been shot in here, and then we reamed them out a little bit with the bullet hole reamer tool. I can't think of the name of the tool, but anyways, we made the holes bigger. So I need to accent those and make them look a little more shattery. We get working on that. All right, the bullet holes are painted up. Things are coming along great. I worked my way through that crack. Little black accents around there. Chelsea's been doing a great job of just finishing cleaning everything. You can see how it's all perfectly black and everything now. Came through here, dressed this up a little bit. There's a little bit more touch up to go here. Got my accenting on these dents and these cracks through here. Not quite sure what I want to do with this panel now, so this is where I'm going to grab the spray paint. I got all these rivets a little bit scuffed up and a little black on them. So I got my sandpaper. I'm going to start toying around with this. The idea was to distress this edge. I think at bare minimum we definitely have to do that. But if we're going with the more metal theme, and especially since this door is more metal, it might be a good idea to kind of get it really sanded down. So I'm just going to start small and work my way from there and see how I like it. It's 9 o'clock at night. We've got Mike here from Airlift. He's their head of marketing. Gets to be in the videos now. He's working on dialing in the air suspension for us. We installed ride height sensors all throughout the car, but I didn't have time to calibrate them, and I knew he'd be able to do it so much faster. So Mike's helping us with that. This is how I wanted this panel. So I know in the painting episode, some of you guys really cringe and were like, what? You're just pulling off tape and it looks bad, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to sand it down so it would have this kind of patinaed look, and I think it came out really good. I would like to sand, no, I want to keep it like this. I can always sand a little bit more off if I want to, but it's worn pretty well. We got to add some black to this panel right now. That's going to be tricky, very artistic touch to this. We'll do our best. All right, guys, well, I added black along the top and over there and just different spots and stuff. I tried adding a handprint that I thought was going to look really cool, but it stood out a lot. Oh, Chelsea, don't we have a silver color? Yeah. I'm going to try a silver handprint. Much more subtle. Very good. Black was like jumping out way too much, but I like that. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut this door down and continue with my streaks on the roof. This part of the roof has a lot of these guys, which I'll be streaking through and just following. And in the end, they'll look very, very muted out like those ones back there. Let's get them on. Some slight design mistakes were made.
You're my mom?
It's supposed to say my other ride is your mom. When the car's so low, it just says B is for build is your mom. Jason, I think you did it. I think you've done a great job so far. But I'm gonna need you to take that license plate frame off.
What a shame.
You can keep the license plate frame. You can put it on your not Crosstrek. What do you have now? Oh yeah, you got a GR Corolla.
GR.
That's pretty cool.
Only 3 cylinders.
I got a GR86 from Toyota. Did I tell you I bought a BRZ today?
4 cylinders today?
Yeah, I bought a BRZ today.
What year?
22, 23, something like that.
Sweet.
Yeah, newest generation.
The new engine's fun.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. All right. Yeah, B is for build is your mom. That's brilliant. I guess, so yeah, there was some silly things that we put on this car also. My friend Michelle, she came in and you probably saw her in the time lapse of the other episodes, and Drew, we were doing a bunch of different pinup style girls coming in and out of here, and wasn't really hitting the theme, but I really, really like this one, how it's sitting on here, and then this is the release for the rear hatch. And so we had her to just dial this one in for a day, and it's amazing, and I love it, and every time the lights go purple, it's a great mix. We found a piece of vinyl that will fit over this. I don't have the tools to vinyl wrap this, but I'm gonna try. The roof scratches are complete. I don't know how well you can see that, but it looks pretty good. It's all following all the little denties that we had in there. So I'm gonna try and vinyl wrap this thing. What scratches? All vinyl wrapped. What is that? That's a small bubble. Bubble's gone. Vinyl wrapped up. No squeegee, no heat gun.
Wow, that's actually really impressive.
That was a hand job. on the no sleeve trips, these are just coming too easy. All right,
B is for builders.
are we on to the last little touch, the last thing? So I got one of these original $100 and something. I got one from Taiwan, $14. Can't tell the difference which one's real, which one's not. So this one it is. I might have grabbed the Taiwan.
This is great footage.
Yeah.
It's so good. People are gonna want this full clip.
I won't edit this down.
Start to finish.
Don't go on crooked. Would help if the hood wasn't moving. Oh, nope, no, read it. God, the hood keeps moving. Nope, that's crooked.
Well, the hood isn't closed
Okay.
because of that tape is still there.
Start from the top. Oh yeah, maybe I go like that. Okay. Funk. It's a little, oh, that's in there. And that's the inside. It's crooked. We need to find the room.
No. This is so hard.
Okay, I nailed it. I did this. Chelsea definitely didn't do this. I finalized this.
Wow, that looks great. Nicely
Wow,
done.
I'm so glad I could do that on the first try. Little Easter egg, if you ever look on my green Huracan, the thing's just like to the side. It's on there. All right, let's do a little walk around. I'm very, very happy with how all of this came out. Like, this is very, very cool. The amount that this car has been turning heads between staff here at the show, people in the booth, people have shown up early. They are stoked to see it. It really, really does look really cool. The lighting catches everybody's eye a lot. I think we hit the theme very well. And I could continue to embellish on this with adding different, elements to the paint and fun stuff and tags and different things like that throughout the different panels. It was very important to us that we kept two things pretty stock looking that I actually want to make sure I show you. So we have the interior that looks phenomenal. The dye job went off really well, and that was a total pain to get back in there. But we've got the interior in there. And then I'm not sure if this is open or not. This is open. So the engine bay, it's got a little bit of dust over it, but this was all detailed out that you saw in a few episodes back. But the carbon looks really good. The engine dressing looks really good. It's overall very, very killer. Latched that this time. So we wanted to keep those two things looking really clean. I didn't think the tinting would block that much of the engine bay, but yeah, you ain't really seeing it. But that's it. It's 10:20. Wasn't a crazy sleepless day or anything like that. This was actually a really fun day and a fun way to wrap this up. And so the show starts tomorrow, and we will get some of our other YouTube friends and people that you may know around the car to see what their impressions are and see what they think of it. And then also we got to drive this car out and to Disneyland. That's a thing that we've got to do with every car, so don't go anywhere. We made it to the booth. It's the next day. People are absolutely loving the car, but I noticed something in the middle of the night. My lights aren't on. We have a voltage regulator that drops from 12 volts down to 4 volts to power some 4-volt lighting on the back of the car, and it melted in the middle of the night. We left them on all night, and I guess it wasn't up for the job, and it melted overnight. So the thing about this is it's easy to just walk away and say, well, people love the car and it'll be cool, but it's really, the way I look at it is like, we put so much time into building those features and those parts and everything, and if you don't just push it the rest of the way, it's kind of like throwing it all away. So I know how to fix this problem. I just got to find this thing. I think I'm gonna have to find like a hobbyist electronics store around here. So I'm off to an Uber, and I'm gonna go get some electronics. I'm gonna come back and plug them in. Hopefully it'll all work out. All right, that was an interesting Uber ride. An hour later, we've got a wire. I've got a wiring diagram. Wait, this isn't just a wire. This will down-regulate the voltage from 12 volt to, it's gonna be at 4.8. We wanna be at 3.5, so we're gonna be running a little hot, but we'll see if this is the next thing that's gonna melt or the lights. So this is the inside of the LED audio controller. Audio comes out of here. This is a relay board that triggers a bunch of different things between the lighting and different stuff like that. This is the brains of the operation that holds the addressable RGB code and everything that does the output to the RGBs. And this thing under here was a voltage regulator. It took 12 volt and dropped it down to 4.5. So I had to bypass that with this thing that I got from a hobby shop right down here. I'm about to finish wiring it in, and hopefully it'll all work. All right, we are back on with all the lighting. It was a little sketch there for a second. The camera will not focus. There we go. But we got it all going. So that's rear lighting. That makes our flashlights, our lasers, and our rear fins go. That's all on a 3.5 volt system. So sweet. We're back together. I'll check on the car tomorrow and see if that thing's melting. I'm actually gonna flip the box around so it gets a little bit more ventilation. It looks a little crazy with the amount of electronics that's in there, but I guess it matches the theme. All right, it is 1 p.m. on Thursday. We're about to do the meet and greet. The car is looking phenomenal. All the lights are still on and working and everything, which I'm very happy about. It's time to meet a bunch of you guys.
Hey up, hey up, hey up. Hey up, hey up, hey up.
Meet and greet is wrapped. It was so nice to meet so many of you guys. Sorry about the length of the line. It's always a tough balance between making sure I have enough time to talk with everybody and making sure people don't wait in line too long. But thank you to all of you guys that came out. And not only it helps us, you know, look good for the brand and the booth that we're in, and gives value to us being at the show, but it's just more importantly so nice to see you guys and talk with you and hear your stories and stuff like that. It's so rad. So that was really cool getting to meet all you guys. I'm gonna run back to my hotel to edit, and then we'll be back for this tomorrow night when the car drives out. We're gonna finally start driving this thing. All right, we are back at the show. Everything's being broken down. We got the car ready to rock. So in the last episode, you probably saw I was pretty bummed that I busted out some of the mounts on the headlights. I was able to actually just drill holes through the back of dead space and use zip ties to hold them in place. And I actually, you know, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm pretty happy with the connection that we got made. Front lip extension, we just moved that forward a little bit, put some double-sided tape on it. That's how it was the whole show. Hopefully it'll hold up. Other than that, we're very, very low on gas. So our first stop is gonna be the gas station. We're gonna try and drive out of here, not run out of gas, and get to the gas station. Last looks at the SEMA show. Here we go. Okay, different scenery. We're at a gas station. But I think that clutch is really mad. It was smelling up the convention center. It was bucking. I talked to a lot of people that own Murcielagos while we were at the show, and a lot of them were saying, you know, that's pretty common. I don't know if it was a speed issue, but I wasn't able to even catch third gear while I was on this road. So we're gonna have to go get on some bigger roads and keep testing this out before we go to the hotel. Here's the view from inside the Mercy. And we're kind of bucking around a little bit. Now we found out something that is really unfortunate. I got no third gear. So when we test drove this car for the first time, my gear numbers were showing up, everything was fine, and we did a lot of driving and it was great. Then eventually, as we were pulling it in and out of the shop, doing whatever, I don't know, it just started reading neutral. I figured it was just an unplugged cable or something. But I think that was when the trans went into full-on limp mode. So I wanted to try and drive this thing home, but that damn clutch has just ruined our party, ruined our fun. But it is pretty cool in here. It's way more spacious than the inside of a Huracan. Much, much more spacious. And it's kind of cool. We're driving down Las Vegas. It's kind of sad that we don't have third gear though. So that's Las Vegas PD. We got pulled over. No drama, all good. Cops very cool. Just wanted to check our registration, which is why we always, on our project cars, it's very important that you have insurance to protect other people on the road if you were to hit them or hurt them. But also, you know, it's good to have registration. We don't have that loophole, the race car loophole that we use in Oregon, because we ain't in Oregon. But trip permits do work in other states. They all cross over in all 50 states. So we got our trip permit, that's good. And once he saw that, he was good with us doing what we're doing. So let's just see if we can get it back to the hotel. All right, guys, we got it to the Excalibur. We got it to the hotel. It was a bit of a slog, but it looks cool. People love it here too, so that's good. I think from here, we've got to try and arrange transport and stuff. So that'll be tricky. I can't just leave it in front of the casino all night. But at least for now, people are going to enjoy it. Once we got the car to the hotel and I arranged shipping for the next day, I could finally relax a little bit, and we were able to meet up with Brad Builds, who designed the body kit for this car, and we all went out to this new mini golf place. And it was a really, really good time. This is my favorite memory that I had of SEMA. Adrian and Michelle flew out to support us once again. So Brad, his wife, Adrian, Michelle, Chelsea, everybody's there. We had a great time playing mini golf and just having a fun night, finally able to relax. And the next day, transport came, which made it no drama for me. I just left it in the valet until they showed up. We loaded it up onto the truck, and Kyle offloaded it back at the shop. And now I'm back home. And a lot of interesting things happened at SEMA, a lot of developments that have to do with the future of this car, and especially with the transmission acting up. That's coming in a follow-up episode tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!